can pleasure be a form of activism? So I wanted to talk a little bit about how reclaiming your pleasure actually is a really powerful thing for the world and a healing thing. So a lot of people seem to think that pleasure is something that's just selfish or greedy or just not that important in the world. So we are pleasure-seeking creatures. It's in our makeup to seek pleasure. You see this with all animals and even from infancy, that we want to touch and explore ourselves, that we seek pleasure. And we've kind of got to this state in the world where people are just constantly seeking external pleasure. So this can look like, endlessly consuming social media, TV, Netflix. It can be binge eating, drinking, smoking, even just having a lot of sex with people that you don't even really like that much. Everyone seems to be really chasing pleasure, but in a really consumerist way. So also shopping and buying a lot of things that you don't even really need. This rewards our dopamine system and can make us feel a little rush of pleasure at the time, but it's not something sustainable. I think that reclaiming your personal pleasure in your body is super, super important. Reclaiming your relationship to your own sexuality, to your own body. So many people are so detached from their body that they barely even feel sensations anymore. I used to be one of these people that was drinking heavily, doing a lot of drugs, partying a lot, and I didn't really feel much in my body. Once I started doing a lot of somatic embodiment kind of modalities, then I really started to see how numb I was in my body. It was a slow process to start really tuning into my body and what was there, but it was so worth it. Now I can feel pleasure just from anything, from the warmth on my skin, the breeze, just feeling my breathing. It's such a powerful thing to be able to just enjoy stillness and silence and being in your body, to reconnect with all the pleasure that is constantly there all the time and available to you. This isn't just about masturbation, but I think that self-pleasuring and self-touch is so important, and it's something that has been shamed and repressed in us for hundreds of years. Even still today, a lot of people have a lot of guilt from religion, or even still genital mutilation is going on in many countries, stopping people from even being able to feel anything in their own bodies. This is so unnatural. It's really, it still just baffles me that this is going on in this day and age. Reclaiming pleasure is so important for your connection to yourself and your connection to other people. If you're constantly seeking this pleasure from others and this endless need and grabbing, then you're not really meeting people where they're at and respecting them as beings. A lot of people are just using others as a way to regain their pleasure. It's all externalized. So when you can resource in your body and find all this pleasure within yourself, then you don't need to be endlessly consuming and grabbing. Everything you have, everything you need is already right here in you. Creating a nourishing relationship to your own sexuality is so beautiful. It means that your sexuality starts with you first. This really helped me in my relationship, because when suddenly he might not be interested in sex for a while, then I would take it personally and I would really start seeing my self-worth valued by how much sex I was getting from a partner. Once I started really exploring, then I suddenly didn't need that. If I did get a beautiful sex session, then that would just be a bonus, but I didn't need it because I had already a beautiful sexual relationship with myself. And how does this affect the rest of the world? Don't we have more important problems? Well, everything stems from sexuality. So many of the world's problems, like, can you just imagine if everyone was having beautiful relationships with themselves and with their partners in their lives? Do you think they would be going and destroying the planet and bombing children in other countries. Like all these kind of endless consuming, grabbing, destroying, this comes from people that aren't at home in their bodies, that they don't know how to connect and how to love. If everyone was having like amazing sex and amazing relationships, they wouldn't be buying sex slaves. They wouldn't be, hurting people, raping people. So much starts from our sexuality and from our connection to ourselves and to others. And trauma also, like so many people that are criminals or causing problems in the world are traumatized. A lot of them are sexually traumatized. If we can reclaim our bodies and our pleasure, then we can start to end this cycle of abuse and harm. So yes, I find that pleasure is a state of activism. Since I started reclaiming my body and my pleasure, I don't need to buy shit all the time. I don't need to like endlessly consume. Everything that I need is right here in my body with me all the time. So I invite you to start exploring your pleasure. Give yourself permission to explore pleasure in a way that's not marketed to you, that's not being sold to you or shoved down your throat. Reclaim your pleasure for your own sake, because pleasure is your birthright and it's fuel. It's fuel for your nervous system. It helps you heal. It helps you connect with other people. It helps you feel like creating and contributing to the world. I know when I'm feeling full of pleasure, then I work super hard. I'm like out there in the world getting shit done. And when I feel really disconnected and numb, then I just don't really feel like doing much at all except just laying on the couch. So I invite you to start really claiming your own pleasure, your own sensitivity, going into your body, feeling at home in your body. It's really such a key step for healing the world, for us all to heal our relationships with ourselves first. So thank you for listening. I hope this inspired you. Stay tuned to my channel for more videos like this.